This is a song for all of you who might be facing a giant today. Well, you're sitting out there and you look kind of dead. I'm going to tell you the story about Goliath and David. They had a tangle, and the story goes something like this. One day while David was watching his sheep, he was doing his thing like little Bo Peep when his father said, "David, got a chore for you to do." David's chore was to take some meal down to his brothers in the battlefield. They were engaged in battle with the Philistines. Now the war at that time was sort of at a truce. You see, the Philistines sent out this moose, and his name was Goliath, and he was looking for someone to kill. The Israeli team was supposed to send out a man to beat up Goliath hand to hand. Whoever won the battle kept the other side for slaves. Goliath was almost as big as a bear. He's mean, ugly, and covered with hair. Besides all that, wasn't a very nice guy. He also stood around 9 feet too, and he knew all the moves that come through, and no one's gonna tangle with him. No way. So David finally arrived at the war, and he looked around trying to find out the score when he saw his brothers and went over to talk. David got to chatting to some of the boys when they heard this gigantic noise. It was Goliath again. They all started to run away. David's mouth got carried away. He said, "Beating up a giant is child's play." They said, "Get out of here, will you, David?" David went down to the river alone, and he picked up 5 smooth stones. And if you know the story, they come in just a little bit later. David returned to the battlefield, didn't wear a helmet, didn't carry a shield. He said, "Ready or not, here I come with my slingshot." There was one thing David didn't realize, that Goliath was almost twice his size. He looked up and said, "Awful tall, ain't you?" David reached for a stone, he put it in his sling, he twirled around his head and he gave it a wing. Hit Goliath right between the eyes and it scared him to death. Well, they all started cheering when they saw he was dead, and David jumped up and chopped off his head, and he stood there smiling. "Whatever turned you on, David?" Well, the war was over and David made the day. And everything was a-okay, but the story isn't over yet. Yeah, the moral to the story ain't all that great. Just you got the Lord, don't hesitate. If God's on your side, you can do it. If God's on your side, don't hesitate. That's right, my friends, I'm telling you straight. If you have the Lord Jesus Christ on your side, you can do all things through him.